on this episode of Weekly Obsession. It is the end of phase 3. I think everybody, myself and my cast, are thrilled with our results. If you don't want to at some point give up, you're probably not working hard enough.
Since this program started, I've had to deal with my stress in a more healthy way.
I feel like I have a new way of living.
Sink in, explode up. They kept making these noises. What is happening? That were clearly not to be funny. Make yourself proud. Keep pushing. You committed to this, so finish it.
I can't believe this is the last week of phase 3. I'm really happy and really sad at the same time because I'm really excited that I've gotten stronger and better, but I'm also sad because I really just don't want it to end.
You know what I'm excited about though?
What?
It's like a cardio intense week because we're back to 2x15s. So I feel like we're gonna, even though it's gonna be hard, we're gonna burn it out. We're gonna like shred out this week.
That is true.
This is like the final push.
Give it everything you've got. You've come so far. Let's celebrate every victory, not just the ones on the scale. Drive it up.
My favorite workout in AAA Phase 3 is the bilateral press in the glute bridge because I feel like I'm engaging my glutes, I'm holding my core in tight, and like I said from the beginning, I wanted to change the way my upper body looks, which is happening. It makes me happy. And I feel like I'm doing that when I'm doing the press.
Come on, guys. This is where we're still gonna make progress, even on day 69.
The 2x15s are more challenging. Those last 5 reps can be really hard. That it's better to push yourself and then have to, you know, maybe stop and reset than the mentality I had coming into this program where I was afraid to fail. And so I didn't push myself.
Hey, we get to do it again in a minute.
Great. I told you I was living in the moment today. What are you doing?
Don't make me laugh!
I'm choosing to do one of these at a time.
Mondays are always, it's a toss-up as to whether or not we're all gonna come in a little bit tired, like dragging, oh, it's Monday, or if everybody comes in and is sort of silly. They kept making these noises that were clearly not to be funny. It was just what was coming out. Like Donald was like, oh, oh.
Ha!
Come on, drive those hips up. Why that? Donald! Shut it. And I couldn't help but laugh, so then I'm trying to laugh and work out, and it just made everything harder, but way more fun. This one is moaning. This one is whining. Like, you guys are killing me. Welcome to Cardio Flow, the last time you have to do it in phase 3. Ducks. Thank you. A little comic relief. Sink low, jump high.
I jump so high in diamond jumps because I just know the secrets in terms of how to gain momentum. For example, everyone else uses their arms when they go up, but really you paddle yourself down to go up. And I'm constantly in motion, so as I'm going down, I never come to a point where I stop. I'm just straight back up.
It is refeed day. 2 more yellows.
I've really grown to appreciate the refeed days. I really like them. And it's not just because I feel a boost of energy the next day, it's also a mental break for me. It's nice to get to have a dirty carb and satisfy a craving.
Find that hang time. Woo! Ooh. Don't worry, I got it. It happens. You know I've been waiting for that the whole program. You go over? No, almost. I have cartwheeled it. So I went up into my mule and it was just like, my body was like, no. Even though my body gave out a little bit, it gave out in the right way, in the proper form. So my core was still engaged, everything was still working, and I felt myself go just a little too far and I was able to tilt myself to the side, more like a cartwheel, then let my legs come up over my head. In fact, every time I've ever done a mule in every single workout thus far, I'm like, please don't fall over, please don't break your back. So I think it's good that they see us struggle with some of the moves, or that like how bad we're sweating, or watch us wobble and fall over, like even myself, because then it gives them permission not to quit, but not to be perfect. Yeah. And that's really important, because like nobody's perfect.
The biggest thing that's changed about how I see food is just that it can actually like the more you eat healthy food, the more you're gonna fuel your body and reach the results, which everybody knows, but it's like
hard
become real
yeah.
to me.
Before this program started, in terms of the hours I spent working out was probably double. And it's just interesting that I'm working out half the amount of hours in the week, but I made significant changes to my body. And so it's clearly, which I said in the very beginning of this program, is the biggest aspect for me in this program is gonna be the nutrition, and it was.
Food was very like almost like my way that I handled my stress. It was like,
It was a control factor.
yeah, you know, and since this program started, like I've had to deal with my stress in a more healthy way, and not like, oh, if I'm stressed, I'm gonna eat or not eat. It's like I have to actually like be real with myself and say, okay, you're stressed, and deal with the problem.
Food is such an emotional thing, and I think like we learn at a young age, like, you know, your kids are upset about something, you're like, oh, do you want a treat? Like, it's trained into us from the time that we're little kids. And I feel like this program like breaks that emotional eating tie because you're just focusing on food as like a fuel. Yeah.
It's not something that you would ever think would happen. It's like one of those variables that isn't even on the paper, but ends up being a product of your hard work that you don't even realize is happening until afterwards, and you're like, wait a minute.
You didn't think this, and neither did I, this program would be so, I didn't think that it would like infiltrate all the areas of my life, but it has.
Yeah, it's not just about working out and nutrition. It's really about self-confidence and, you know, becoming a bigger, better, stronger person from the inside out.
Up. See how high you can jump, and then see how far into this lunge you can sink. Sink in, explode up. See if you can soften it more. There we go.
I think my weights have almost doubled, and for some exercises, tripled for leg day, but my pant size keeps going down. So it's definitely sculpting our legs, lifting heavier.
Our goals aren't obtained just by strength. They're obtained by perseverance. Gotta put in the work.
Things that I'm noticing in my body is that I don't have any squishy parts anymore. I'm like pretty much all solid.
This is the only chance we get to do this exact workout, so we gotta take it. Squat, jump. This break is brought to you by Autumn's Need to Recover.
I like today's workout, except for those Turkish get-ups.
Oh, those are my favorite. I love
Those are your favorite? That's because you have the strongest shoulders of any girl, or any person maybe, I've ever encountered.
Really focus the most on the knee tuck in. That's your contraction. If you don't want to, at some point, give up in your workout, you're probably not working hard enough.
Total body core is just as challenging as it was the first week of phase 3. A lot of it's just because of how detailed the movements are.
Don't let them tell you you can't have the body you want.
Total body core was really tough. You can't help it, your body gets exhausted. You also know you're coming to the end of something, so I think mentally that plays a part.
2 more workouts this week, and then we are in peak week.
Okay, so for peak week, Autumn brought us in to talk to us about peak week, and we went over one of our options for the nutrition plan.
So you have the option, if you're not vegan, to do essentially like a shred week with your nutrition. It's essentially gonna make your muscles pop a little bit more. That's the point of it.
The concept of peak week is for us to be at our, exactly what it means, at our peak. To look the best that we can, to shred the most that we can.
This is not like a diet plan that I recommend for people to follow on a regular basis. People have seen it before in 21 Day Fix Extreme. We did a version of it called Countdown to Competition in that program. It's really used to get a specific look for a short period of time. If you're doing amazing, feeling amazing, and you don't really have any reason to have like an extra bit of shred, you don't have to do it. It's completely optional. It's not something I tell people to do all the time. It is to be used to get a specific result in a specific period of time. When you do peak week nutrition like this, you're gonna probably lose a little bit extra weight, like more than you would in a typical week of just the 80-day obsession nutrition. Now, when you come off of peak week and you go back to all days of just regular 80-day obsession nutrition, you will probably gain most of that weight back. Now, I wanna make sure I make it clear, like, you're not gaining weight back. You're gaining the water back in your body that you lost a little bit of from the carbohydrates. So don't think you gained fat back. That's not what it is. You'll continue to lose weight again. I'm just saying, like, this tends to speed it up a little bit more, and it gives you a little bit more muscle definition, which is why we're doing it. It makes the muscle pop a little bit more. That's the basis of this. Don't take that as like a, well, why would I do it if I'm just gonna put it back on? I didn't really lose weight. You did, and your body will still respond to it. So it's just another sort of tool to have in your kit. It essentially pulls some of the water out of your muscles, so it makes them tighter, so the muscle definition pops more. It's not unhealthy, it's not dangerous, you're still eating the same amount of calories that you were eating regularly. That's why we up your protein, we up your vegetables. We just pull the carbs down a little bit, and it's only for 2 days, and then you go back to a regular day eating, and then you have 2 more days of it, and it's back to a regular day of eating. We're still doing time nutrition, you're still eating every 2 to 3 hours. It doesn't have to get super complicated about what you're making, like most of it is reds and greens and teaspoons. There is 1 extra meal. There is 6 meals instead of 5 because you are getting more protein and more vegetables throughout the day. You're still getting the same amount of calories. You're just not getting it from carbohydrates. They're stacked in the morning so that your body will burn through them. You're gonna see your muscle definition pop out a little bit more. By 3 o'clock, I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna be a little bit crabby.
Coffee on hand.
Coffee on hand, but don't be adding a whole bunch of sugar to it because that defeats the purpose, okay? All right, so you guys know what peak week looks like. We got 2 more days until we get ready for that. Happy Friday! Cardio 4! Come on, it's muscle burn. It'll end shortly. Down, pop.
As far as working out in a group, that was actually really helpful. And it made me forget that I was doing cardio.
I'm asked all the time, what motivates you when you don't want to do it? I want to be stronger. I want to be healthier. I want to be able to keep up with my son. I want to be an inspiration to him. When you start to lack motivation, you really need to know what that why is. And you got to go deep on it because that's what's going to keep you going. If you just say, I just want to finish 80 days, that might not be a strong enough answer on the days where you are really sore, on the days where you are really tired, on the days where you are really busy. You're going to need something more than that to push you. Make yourself proud. Keep pushing. You committed to this, so finish it.
The very first time we did cardio in phase 1, I literally had to talk myself through it the whole time. Like, it was such a mental game for me. But now I feel so much stronger. Like, I know I'm gonna get through it. I know it's gonna be challenging. I know it's gonna be hard. But I'm like, I know I can do this. I'm totally capable. And I can push myself so much harder. I don't hold back anymore to try to, like, make it through.
And talking about cardio, the first time we did a cardio core workout, I had to walk up to the side. Cody came up to me and was like, if you need water or are gonna pass out, let me know. He wasn't even kidding. And so now it's nice that even though it's difficult, I am happy that I'm doing it and I do feel accomplished and like, obviously it makes you feel better throughout the rest of your day.
Welcome to day 74. It is the last workout of phase 3. After today, you have made it through all 3 phases. I use my arms a little bit when I jump. So the weight actually comes towards my belly button, and then I swing it up. Here, get low. Go down to go up. We're gonna finish phase 3 strong.
Booty workouts are always my favorite, I think because I just feel strong in that workout. So I really liked ending with that because I felt like I got to end on a really strong, positive note.
Last exercise, phase 3. You finished all 3 phases. You should be so proud of yourself right now. Woo! You did it! Yay!
I can't believe that, like, when we start next week, after every day is gonna be like, that's the last time we're gonna do that. And now it's like, I can see the finish line and it's approaching quicker than I think I'm ready for, and that's the sad part.
I do think like next week will be very bittersweet. It is the end of phase 3. I think everybody, myself and my cast, are thrilled with our results. But really, it's not even about just the way we look. All we keep talking about is how good we feel.
This is the first time I've ever started something and finished it.
Yeah.
Really?
Like
me
this,
too.
ever.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
and I'm
When it
really
comes to, like,
excited.
an
So I'm excited that it's ending because that's
get to
what's special
say,
for me.
yeah,
I did it, and then I can do it again.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not what I imagined it'd feel like. It's not like, oh, I look so good or anything like that. I feel like I have a new way of living.
And we will see you guys on Monday for peak week. We're almost done. The start of week 12. We're almost there, almost finished with our first round of 80-day obsession. If you haven't checked it out and you want to do it, head on over to Beachbody On Demand and get started with us today.